In this question, guys, girls, and folks, we are told, okay, this statement or given this statement. In this question, you must show detailed reasoning. Part A, express 8 plus I all over 2 minus I in the form A plus BI, where A and B are real. So we are going to rationalize, okay, the denominator of this fraction. So we're going to multiply top and bottom by the conjugate of our denominator. So we have top and bottom by 2 plus I over 2 plus I. Notice that I'm multiplying the fraction by 1 because anything divided by itself is just 1. So I'm just rewriting this here as an equivalent fraction. So now I multiply top by top, bottom by bottom. So 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times plus I makes plus 8I or positive 8I. Plus I times 2 makes plus 2I. And then plus I times plus I is plus I squared. We should know from A-level further maths, guys, that I is equal to the square root of -1 or -1. Therefore, I squared, okay, squaring both sides, we get -1 or -1. So this is going to now simplify it just to -1. Okay, plus I squared is equal to -1. And on the bottom, guys, we have 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times plus I makes plus 2I. Then I've got negative I times plus 2 makes minus or negative 2I. Then I've got minus I times plus I is minus I squared, which is equal to positive 1 or plus 1. Okay? I'm now going to collect my like terms on the top and bottom. 16 minus 1 is 15, guys. And plus 8I, adding another 2I, so plus another 2I, makes plus 10 i's in total. Okay, all divided by, well, 4 plus 1 is 5, plus 2I minus 2I cancel each other out. Okay, so cancel out. Okay, hence, leaving us here with a whole number on the bottom. Hence the process of rationalizing the denominator. And then dividing through this part by 5, we get 3 plus 2I. So we get 3 plus 2I, where in this case, A is equal to 3, and B, the coefficient of I, is equal to 2. Okay, that's part A done now for 2 marks. Part B, solve the equation 4x squared minus 8x plus 5 equals 0. Give your answer in the form of C plus DI, where C and D are real. So this is a quadratic equation. Okay, I'm going to solve it using the quadratic formula, which is x is equal to minus b or negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay, that's something here we should know from GCSE or even from A-level maths. Okay, so a is the coefficient of x squared, so a is equal to 4. B is the coefficient of x, so minus 8 or negative 8, and C is our constant term plus 5. I'm going to substitute this into my equation or my formula. So x equals minus b, so that's minus minus 8, which is plus 8, plus or minus the square root of, in brackets, minus 8 squared will be 64, minus 8 and minus 8. Then I've got minus 4 times a times c all over 2 times a, so 2 times 4. I'm going to tidy this up now a bit. Okay, so we're going to have x equals 8 plus or minus the square root of 64. 4 times 4 is 16, times it by 5 and we get 80. So we're going to subtract 80, okay, or minus 80 on the top, all over 2 times 4 is 8. Okay, I'm going to now simplify the numerator. So x equals, okay, rather than put x here, let me just carry on as normal. So we're going to have 8 plus or minus, sorry guys, I apologize. So 8 plus or minus the square root of minus 24 all over 8. So 64 minus 80. Oh no, sorry, minus 20. No, wait, sorry. minus 16, sorry, I apologize. Okay, so I did 80 minus 64, and then I put a minus sign in the front. So 80 subtract 64. So 0 take 4, I can't do, so to borrow. That becomes a 7. That now becomes a 10. 10 take away 4 is 6. 7 take away 6 is 1. Okay, now the square root of 16, guys, we should know using our laws of surds, is the square root of 16 multiplied by the square root of 1. Okay, because 16 times minus 1 is minus 16. The square root of 16, guys, is going to be 4. The square root of minus 1, we should look up here, is equal to I. So we have 4 times I, which is going to be equal to 4I. So I'm going to tidy this up now. So I'm going to have 8 plus or minus, okay, 4I all over 8. Okay, divide through everything by 8. So we're going to get 1 plus or minus a half I, okay, or a half lots of I, where in this case, C is equal to 1 and D is equal to 1/2 or 0.5 or 0.5. Okay, so OE just means or equivalent. Okay, so we get 1 plus or minus a half I as our answer. Okay, where one of our roots is going to be 1 plus I, and the other one is going to be 1 minus a half I. Okay, and then your two roots to the equation 4x squared, okay, minus 8x plus 5 equals 0. Of course, you could have obviously completed the square, that's completely fine, okay, or if you could, oh yeah, obviously it's not actually factorized much, yeah, but yeah, if you're able to factorize, yeah, in the complex, well, the complex plane, that's also fine, but yeah, I think most of you would have done the quadratic formula, okay, so yeah, if you work it out and you simplify, okay, you get 8 plus or minus 4I all over 8, okay, and then obviously that's going to be 8 over 8 plus or minus 4I over 8, okay, and that's where we get, yeah, 8 over 8 is just 1, okay, and then 4/8, so 4 over 8 simplifies to, yeah, a half, okay, or I over 2, okay, or a half I, okay, so plus or minus a half I.